Here is a brand new statement. Won't let you walk the pavement that leads to everything I am. You can't change me. I am unbreakable. Don't wanna be somebody else. It's time to take control. Convince you all that's how I roll. Light it up, touch the sky. Make me feel alive, and I will become indestructible. Take the fire, let me own the night, and I will become I am unbreakable. Don't wanna be somebody else. It's time to take control. And now you know that's how I roll, my friend. Light it up, touch the sky. Make me feel alive, and I will become indestructible. Take the fire, let me own the night, and I will become indestructible.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Gregtech. New Horizons. How's you guys' day been? Good? Let me know down in the comments below. So last episode we fixed our auto crafting. It was just way too slow the way we had it set up before. So this setup now, which uses multiple machines in parallel to make things, is super fast. And they're all running at UV power, which is amazing. So now from taking a few hours to craft stuff, it only takes a few minutes, which is amazing. So there has been a few changes that I've noticed, and that is because we've upgraded the mod pack now to 2.8. 2.8 update actually came out the same day I uploaded last episode, so I've spent the last week or so going through our base and making sure nothing really broke. There was a few things, but I fixed them. So the first things I did notice when I came up here is our lathes were not forming. And that's because the muffler hatch that was here before has been removed. So I had to break it and replace it with more casing, and now they're working. And same goes for the autoclave. This one actually troubled me a bit more because the muffler hatch got removed, so I replaced it, but it still wasn't forming. Turns out, on the inside, 8 new blocks have been placed. So like there's these pressure containment casings on the inside and the front, back, top and bottom. And yeah, once I replaced those, then it formed. I even thought it was the glass that was the issue. So I've replaced the glass from the reinforced to the ZPM tier glass because I thought it was an issue with the energy hatches. But nope, turns out it was just blocks on the inside. But I like the way the glass looks better anyway, so I left it. So, along with the 2.8 update, a lot of stuff has changed. There's been so many things added, like we now have the matter manipulator, which is essentially like our own way of world edit. This guy here can copy and paste setups and move it, and you can even create schematics, and the AE system will craft all the components so you can set up multiple schematics and then just paste down multiple of the same setups, which is amazing. And there's even some new processing lines that have been added. Back in the LUV chapter, we now have the netherite line. So we need netherite now, pretty much. It is very, very important. And it ties into with the second new added line, which is the prismarine line. Prismarine and netherite is going to be combined together for making this stuff. The quadrite universal insulator foil. And this is now needed for making coil blocks. So yeah, if we want to upgrade our machines to the electron flux coil blocks, we now need the quadrite. So I've had to go in and change some of the recipes, but it looks like a lot of things are going to need this now, which is pretty cool. So we're going to have to set that up, which is why we built this thing. This is our new chemistry building. And this is where we're going to be setting up all of our chemical reactors that need to be auto-crafted or set on passive, and where we're going to be set up all our new processing lines. So I've already gone ahead and moved the platinum line over, so everything in here should be working. I'm pretty sure I got everything. Everything has also been upgraded to LUV and are now using like stocking input hatches or not the stocking input hatches, but stocking input buses and the output hatches. I still need to do biochemistry or the biolab stuff to get access to the stocking input hatches because they require neural processing circuit boards. If I look up stocking, this requires this neural processing board, which requires stem cells, and this thing here requires like petri dishes with certain cells, growth catalysts. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff to it. But mainly the stem cells, like this growth catalyst, unknown crystal shards, which we can get right now since we have access to mysterious crystals thanks to our blood meteors. But we're going to be able to get them in their raw form today because we're going to be heading out into space. And I want to try and get myself the tier 7 rocket. Whether or not we're going to be able to do that, I don't know. But I've already crafted everything we need now to make them. So this is going to be our tier 7 rocket. We just need the schematic. Now, can I get the tier 8 rocket? I don't know, but we're going to need a new tier of fuel, and that requires this lorium machine casing, and this ruthenium is taking forever to craft. So it looks like it's actually stuck. I'm going to have to go check what's wrong with this. But anyway, so I'm not going to go over everything that was added in 2.8. If you want, I'll leave a link to the video Hamcorp made on the new update. It goes over most of the stuff that was added. There's a lot of things that have changed. Actually, one of the main things I want to talk about that actually was changed, and I'm so glad I got it done last episode, is the crafting input proxies. My god, the recipe change on this thing is insane. So you know how easy it was to make them before? It was just like a ZPM or a UV emitter and a crafting input bus. Think again! This requires energized tesseracts, UEV sensors, dimensionally shifted superfluid, which requires a DTPS, this monstrosity, and it also requires a space elevator with a Mark II assembler module, which is nearly also just as bad to craft. Infinity, living solder, hypogen, transcendent metal, UIV circuits. Yeah, that's not happening. So I batch crafted a bunch of them, and yeah, I'm so glad I got this done last episode. But yeah, like I said, 2.8 update video that Hamcorp made. I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to go check it out. So what is the plan for today? Well, I want to head out into space, like I said, and get ourselves a tier 7 rocket, but I also want to set up some space pumping. Our main issue right now that's actually causing us some problems is our lack of gases. So over here in the space chapter, there is space pumping, the planetary gas siphon. I want to get this guy set up on the 4 different planets it has access to. So Neptune, Uranus, Saturn, and Jupiter. And I want to get these guys pumping the certain gases back to our base. So like here we have hydrogen and helium, liquid oxygen. I don't know if we need liquid oxygen for certain things. Yeah, we might not actually need liquid oxygen, but oxygen, deuterium, neon, krypton, argon, tritium, helium-3, xenon, ammonia, and hydrogen. I want to get all of these things getting pumped and sent back to our base. But we need to set up space stations on certain planets to be able to do that. So in here, we can see what tier of rocket we need to access those planets. We need a minimum of a tier 6 rocket. So let's make ourselves now our tier 5 rocket. Is this one? That's tier 6. Here's tier 5. So in here, we'll add everything for our tier 5 rocket. Oh, wait. Schematic first, unlock, back, and there we go. So this will give us our tier 5 rocket. And do we need a new type of fuel? Is the dense hydrazine enough? Or, oh no, I already made the new fuel, this purple one. So yeah, this is going to be used in tier 4. So with our tier 5 rocket, we can now access the new planet. If we go down here, Encladius. Am I saying that right? This has a new dungeon, which we'll need to defeat to get the tier 6 rocket. But also on this planet is where we get the raw crystal parts for making our stem cells. So I guess we might as well just go and do that now. So in here, I'm going to need our fuel loader, our rocket launch pad, battery, and I think that's it. And we'll just launch from right here. There's no point going onto the roof. Whoa, this thing is big. Okay, so battery, and we'll load it up with fuel. I think it uses, what, like 10 buckets of fuel? I'm hoping this is enough fuel. If I have to, I can make more. Let's just put in 5 for now. Actually, we can just see. 11.5 buckets. Okay, this requires quite a bit. All right, 10 buckets should be more than enough. and we'll put the fuel away. Right. Is there anything else we need before we take off? Since we need the tier 6 rocket for a different space station, let's have a look in here. So we can make the Jupiter, the Saturn, and the Uranus one. And actually, I've already got all the blocks I think I need to make the certain space stations. Can I remember which ones they go in order of? I think I can take all 3 of these. And actually, I think I can build them all, which might not work. I don't know. We'll see. Is this thing fully loaded? Yes, it is. Wait, is it a blood moon? It feels a bit red. Oh, no, it's not. Why did I cancel my sleep? Whatever. Oh, it just turned daytime. That's why. Okay, so we'll put this stuff away. I have in these 2 chests right here a bunch of our mining blocks so we can set up like fluid drilling rigs and our ore drilling plants, because I want to grab all the new ores we have access to on these planets as well. So I think we are good to go. Our oxygen supply is good. We don't need a new tier of thermal padding. Yeah, let's go. And my character's bugging out on the inside and there's no sound. Great. Lift off. This is so weird without the audio. Okay, so I think the first place we want to go to is Jupiter. And it says over on the right, we have everything now to make a space station. So let's create that. So that's been added there now. So let's back out, find Saturn, or Uranus actually. We can build this one. There we go, that's added. I'm not going to go to them just yet. And then down here is Saturn. So this one will create a space station. So all of the space stations have been added now, and we can even rename them. I'll leave them as default, doesn't really matter to me. It says we can launch to it, but I'm not going to just yet. Let's back out, back to Jupiter, and I think it is this one. Where is the next tier planet? Is it around over here? Pluto? Maybe it is around Saturn. There it is. Tier 5, Enceladus. We're going to launch here. That's a weird looking Saturn. It's huge. And the server broke. All right, restarted the server and it's working. We've had a power fail. Yeah, that's a new feature also added by the new version. Is now whenever a machine shuts down, we can actually see where that machine is. So we don't have to be guessing what machine shut down. And I'm stuck. Oh, there we go. Oh, I thought it got launched away. Okay, we're good. So we have our launch pad and our rocket. Cool. All right, so these are the unknown crystals. And by breaking them... Oh, looks like the server is still struggling. We now get these raw crystal pieces that are used for making the stem cells. What is... Okay, there we go. Unknown crystal. Quest complete. Wait, it's a trigger one? Which one did it complete? Usually when it says it's a trigger quest, it bypasses a step. But I don't see a chapter with a question mark or a check mark. Maybe it's a hidden one. We just don't see it. But yeah, the server seems to be working now. So I don't know if fortune affects these things. It might. But let's just go find the dungeon first. Ooh, this is kind of cool. What do we got here? And oh yeah, all the ores have got a new texture as well. Actually, speaking of ores, let's have a look. The game's still frozen. Or not responding. My backpack won't open. There must be a lot of stuff trying to generate here. But yeah, let me fly around for a minute, try and find a dungeon and prospect a bit of the area. Oh yeah, server died. Never mind. But yeah, like I said, I'm just going to go fly around, find a dungeon, prospect some of the area, and then we'll see what we'll do from there. Okay, the server has been struggling with me flying around, but I found a dungeon. So this is where we're going to be getting ourselves our tier 6 schematic. So I flew around quite a bit, and to be honest, there's not really that much ore here that we actually need. Yeah, maybe the iridium ore might be nice to grab, but to be honest, I think we can get the iridium ore on a better planet. So I think what we'll do is go down here, grab the schematic, then I'm going to fly around and grab as much of these crystals as I can, and then we'll take off. And I just realized there is actually another space station I forgot to build, so I'm going to have to go build that, but we'll do that when we take off. So let's go down here, and nothing useful in here. And also, battle gear has been removed. So I've had to put my crossbow in my secondary hotbar, which I get from Tinker's Construct, which is nice. And it is the Traveler's Belt. So this guy allows me to swap. So my button for that is G. And also then for the magnet, there's now a bauble slot you can put it in. So in here you can have your bolts. So they sit there. And there's even a light dress now, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it looks like we got some focus things and some things from Stormcraft. But yeah, you can put your magnet in the bauble slot now, which is nice. So much cobweb. This has been a great time for the server to start lagging. Come on, don't be lagging. All right, here's the boss room. Why is the server lagging? Okay, there we go. An evolved crystal boss who turned invisible. Okay. It's like every time he fires his fireball, he disappears and then reappears after the second shot. Okay, I think if the server wasn't lagging, this would have been easier. Oh, there we go. Boss down. All right, here is our key. And the chest room should be here. There we go. Tier 6 schematic. And we really don't need any of that stuff, but whatever. I can send it back. All right, so with that now, let me go ahead and collect as much of these unknown crystal shards as I can. Oh, wait, we can make it with distilled water. I thought it was a percentage chance. Okay, if I can make it with distilled water, then that might not be a bit of an issue. And yeah, it only spawns in the dilithium vein, which is a tier 9 planet, but we get it through the meteor ritual, which is okay. And yeah, if we were to use an LUV recycler, there's a lot more new rituals for meteors, which is nice. This one here, like 7,500 ore. That's a lot. And I am, for some reason, kind of considering moving our ore collection set up to make room for this guy. Because I did notice, like, yeah, that's a lot of nether star ore and emeralds were becoming an issue. But to be honest, it might still not be worth it. But yeah, okay, if we can just use distilled water to make the crystals, then that's actually fine. Right, let's get out of here now. And, oh, it's nighttime now. So yeah, I'm just going to collect as many of these crystals as I can for a bit. Maybe I'll grab like a stack of them. All right, there we go. 64 of these unknown crystals. Now, I forgot to mark where I landed, but I think it was close to this thing because I remember looking down here and seeing opal ore. So I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to this ravine. So I'm just going to launch from up here and hopefully nothing comes and attacks me. I actually forgot to look at the fuel count, but we seem to be okay. So I guess we should set up the other space station. Now, where did I say I was going to put that one? We done Saturn. We done Jupiter. Was it on Make? No. I can't remember where it was. Was it Neptune? Yeah, it was Neptune. Okay, so create one on this guy. Did it create it? Oh, it did. Okay, another ring just showed up. Okay, we're not going to go there just yet. So let's go back to Jupiter and set up our space pump from there. So Jupiter, space station, launch. And it insta teleports us here. And arrival block. Oh, here's our rocket. Okay. Whoa. I float around a lot. Inertia canceling is going to be very important up here. Okay. So now that we have our space station, let's get ourselves our space pump set up. I think this is where the rocket is supposed to land, but yeah, that's fine. And actually, now that I think about it, I never really brought any building blocks with me. That's fine because we have our Spectre key. So in here, we can grab ourselves out any building blocks. So for now, we'll just build it out of like, I don't know, stone. It doesn't need to be pretty. We're not going to be using this guy that often. It's just a place to put down our pumps. So I guess let me just fill my inventory with stone. Yeah, it feels like it's moving, but it's not. It's so weird out here. But let's just mark out a little bit of a platform for us to build our siphons on. So I think the way I want to do it is I want to set up, I think, 3 siphons per planet or 4 siphons. Which chest are they in? This one here. So I have 12 siphons and we have 4 planets. So 3 gas siphons per planet I want to do. So I guess let me go ahead and build them. So their structure is tungsten steel frame box, planetary siphon casing, the actual controller, and then up the center is this rebolted rhodium plated palladium casing. And then your maintenance hatch, input and output for fluids and pipe. I think it needs a mining pipe. And then you need to use circuits to figure out what depth you want to run it at. And I think we can program that inside our input bus. So let's put down, actually, how's the chunk borders looking here? Ooh, kind of divided down the center. Okay, we'll put them along here then. Should I have them touching or wall sharing, or should I separate them? I think I might actually separate them. So input buses are going to go on the left. Output buses are going to go on the right. And then our maintenance hatches can go on the back right here. Okay. Wait, did I grab one extra output hatch? I did. Okay. The way we're going to be powering these guys is at LUV, which, do I have my LUV energy hatches? Or are these IV? Oh, these are the IV ones. But where's my IV energy hatches? Okay, I'll borrow these 3 for now, but it looks like I forgot to make them. And I never made the siphon casing. Wow, I really forgot everything, didn't I? All right, here's the rest of the casings. And yes, they're all built. Cool. So all we have to do then is give them 1 stack of mining pipe each. I don't know if they actually need the mining pipe. I'm not sure. So we're on what, Jupiter? So we want to figure out what gases we want. So I think it says what the gases we get in here. So for Jupiter, the options are hydrogen, helium, nitrogen, or and oxygen. And I think the numbers here 1 to 4 represent what circuit needs to be put in. So I think our best option for here is going to be just hydrogen, because we get plenty of nitrogen from distilling liquid air. We get a few million at a time. So I think that might be a better option. So I think what we'll do is we'll do hydrogen on Jupiter, and we'll do hydrogen on Saturn as well. And helium will ignore liquid oxygen, and oxygen will ignore Uranus. We'll get deuterium. We'll actually grab all 4 of these. And on Neptune, we'll also probably grab all 4 of these. So mainly just circuit 1, I think, then for hydrogen. Yeah, and if we double check in here for Saturn, Jupiter. Jupiter is depth 1 and 3. Yeah, okay, so depth 1 for hydrogen, 15 buckets at a time. I'm pretty sure this is an infinite source. It's not like we're going to suck the planet dry, and the planet should be directly below us. Don't fly away. The gravity here is so weird. But we'll grab out 3 stacks of this enriched aquata rods. We'll grab out 3 of these guys, and in each one of these guys, we'll set this to circuit 1. And the only thing I haven't considered is how we're going to pump the fluid back. I think our best option might be to use the dimensional transceivers. I just need to configure them separately. So instead of sending items, we will go in here and send fluid. So this one will be gas siphon or planetary siphon. So planetary siphon will add the channel. This will be set to send. And I don't think there's anything we need to set in here. Blacklist is already configured. So this is going to be send. No items, but it will be receiving base power. So I'll just set the same for these guys. So planetary siphon, send. And now we can turn these guys on and see what happens. First, maintenance. And now power. So these guys are going to be powered using IV Naquata reactors. So you get that, this, and this. And let's turn them on. 30 buckets of hydrogen in 1 second. Is that what it said? Yeah. 30 buckets in 1 second. And this guy is full because there's nowhere to send the fluids. So let's turn you back on. So all of them are running. And you know what? I should probably set up a way to be able to pump all these rods over. I might need to set up an ender chest network to store these things and send them to the different planets. But that's working there now. So let's head back home. Don't forget the chunk load. And let's see if we're getting hydrogen at home. How is our rocket doing on fuel? We're okay. I cannot wait to get the relocator. That way I don't have to be using rockets to teleport back to these space stations. So we're back in the overworld, and where did this throw me out? Oh, just in front of the chemistry building. Perfect. So while the chest is descending, let's go set up the output for the fluids. So translocator. Do I have a spare one? No. Do I have any extra translocators? I don't. But I do know where some are. There should be a translocator here in the nether, because I did set up a multi-block ore drill to mine molybdenum as the next tunnel. And because we need molybdenum to be able to make the next tier of casing for our chemistry plant for the final rocket fuel tier. And for some reason, I thought I had a bunch of that, but it turns out I literally had none. But this looks like it is finished. It doesn't say exhausted resources, but yeah, there is a spare translocator. So this is our spare dimensional transceiver. Yeah, I should probably look into making more of these. Crystalline capacitors, quantum eyes. You know what? I think we can make these now. The only issue was the sentient ender, but I've made like 100 of these things. So yeah, I think we're good. So I guess temporarily I can put it down like right here. So this will go there. I need a dual interface. And if I place this on top, I can come in here and configure it. Say the top is going to be the push. Come in here, remove that, and then planetary siphon, receive. And now if we look in here at hydrogen, it should be going up fairly fast at like 60 buckets every 2 seconds, which it does look like it is. Now, of course, we are consuming the hydrogen at the same time, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I do believe we are currently getting our gas. And the way we can test that is by grabbing out a super tank. So this one here, and we'll just temporarily place this thing here and change the top from block to this guy to push. And if we look in here, yes, here is our hydrogen. So this is working. So we'll just disable this one again, and up here, set this back to push, and then we can throw this in here. There we go. So that is kind of hydrogen fixed. We of course still need to go to the other planets, but let's make ourselves now our tier 6 rocket. So tier 6 rocket stuff It's the exact same as the tier 5. It just requires a schematic and a tier 6 computer. So in here, unlock schematic, go back, tier 6 rocket, and we're off. So where does it say the next tier of dungeon is? I'm on it. I have it detected. There you go. So the next dungeon is on Proteus, which is doesn't say. Where is it? I'm not sure where this one is, but I guess we'll look for it while we're out there. So we need, let me throw this cobblestone away. So we need our fuel and fuel loader. So battery, fuel loader. Our fuel is in this chest here. We need, how many buckets can this guy hold? Actually, where's my launch pad? Oh, it's in the, I forgot about the chest. So tier 6 rocket. Oh, this thing looks so cool. And how much fuel does it need? 11.5 buckets as well. All right, rockets loaded. Oh, the sound is working again. So I found where our next dungeon is on. It's on the moon of Neptune. So Neptune, select, and it's this little one right here, Proteus. Let's go. I'm blue. Why am I blue? I'm normal again. I have a feeling. Oh, no. Wait, the server might actually be handling this. Okay, I was expecting the server to crash like it did before. Oh, we have the evolved blazes here, the cold ones. And grab our rocket. There we go. And grab out our prospecting tool and see what's around here. Infused gold. That's good. Let's just zoom in here. So diamond, infused gold. There's actually quite a few infused gold veins here. That is a lot of copper and bauxite. Quartz, osmium. Osmium is an important resource. I'm actually really struggling to get osmium. Molybdenum, that's a really important ore as well. Okay, so I'm going to fly around here for a moment and scan a bunch of ores and keep my eyes out for the dungeon entrance. Well, that was quite easy to find. I just flew around in a big square prospecting out the area and then decided to fly south and immediately found it. That was lucky. But anyway, here is the dungeon. What's actually around here? Bauxite, diamond, uranium, tungsten, neutronium. Oh, I didn't even look at that properly. So titanium, naquadria, adamantium, neutronium, a bunch of infused gold. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to be setting up some ore drills before I leave. And it turns out, with the new version of 2.8, a new feature with GTN journey map is we can actually search for ores. So if we say gold, it highlights all the ones that have gold inside it. So we can find the one that are a really big cluster of all of them lit together. So like right here, this vanadium vein would have a lot of the gold veins connected to each other. So we'll be able to hit them all, which would be nice. But yeah, so let's go do this dungeon first, and then I'll worry about doing that. Nothing useful in here. Let's grab out our crossbow. I'm lucky this place isn't as laggy as the last planet. Ooh, it's still shooting me. Of course you're angry at me. At this point, it's best for us to fly through everything, no matter what happens. Wait, what? There's no boss on this place? It's just the treasure chest? Oh, no, oh, wait, did I just blow through the dungeon room? No. Hang on a second. Is there no boss room? Unless this thing is weirdly connected. Okay, the last dungeon was a bust, so let's see if this one actually has the boss room. Are you serious? We're way past here? Okay, it does continue. Kind of. Okay, it does have the boss room, which is good, but that is a lot of evolved blazes. Oh my. Okay, this is an easy boss fight. Give me my key. Thank you very much. Is this? Yeah, this is the way to the key room. There's just so many mobs. Why? Oh, I don't know. Just give me the tier 7 schematic and let's just get out of here. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure we keep up with our quests in here, but we look good. So I have everything in here to make the tier 7 rocket, so that should be okay. Right. What I'm going to do now is set up some multi-block miners so we can start mining out all of the osmium and extra stuff that we want from here. So like this vanadium vein. I'll probably set up like 3 or 4 miners, and then we'll head up to up to the space station and set up the gas siphons. All right, so I set up 3 miners over here, and they should cover all of these blocked out ore veins. So that'd be pretty amazing if it did. So there should be a bunch of iridium, osmium, a bit of uranium. I am also hitting some neutronium veins. So we should be good on resources from this planet for a while. Right, let's go set up the gas siphons. All right, so we're here now. So the gases we want from here is tritium, helium-3, ammonia, and xenon. Or xenon? Xenon? Yeah, I think it's pronounced xenon. All right, so yeah, we're going to set up a gas siphon for each one of those. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, there we go. Here is our 4 gas siphons. Turns out they actually needed more power because I was going to use IV energy hatches, but turns out these 2 here on circuit 1 and 2 required ZPM tier power. So this is now generating 500 liters of helium every second. And the cool thing is now with this, we can actually see how much we get in exactly 24 hours. So if I left it running perfectly for 24 hours, we get 43 million helium-3. That's actually pretty cool. And in here, tritium, 250 million per day, which is a lot. Ammonia, we get 34 million a day. And for xenon, we get 30 million a day. So that's actually pretty cool. But the only bottleneck we have is keeping up with the amount of quadria bolts we can put in here for power. Each one of these do generate quite a lot of power, 250 million. So one stack will last a good while, but it might be a good idea to set up like an ender chest with a conduit pulling them into these guys. But now that we have this one set up, let me go ahead to the other 2 space stations and get those gas siphons set up. Oh yeah, I need to make sure I chunk load everything here as well. All right, and here is the 4 gas siphons on Neptune. So this one here is getting deuterium. Wow, that's a lot in 24 hours. In here, neon 77, 24 hours, argon 21, and krypton 8. So yeah, that's these ones set up. So chunk load, and now on to, I think the last place is Saturn. Yeah, I think it's Saturn is the last one. How are we doing for our rocket though? Okay, we're actually not using that much fuel. I thought we'd be using a lot more, but I think because we're already in space, we're not using that much. Right, I think, yeah, Saturn. And there we go. The last planetary gas siphon set up. This one is now generating, wow, 1 billion liters of hydrogen a day. That is a lot. Can't check our hydrogen supply right now. My only concern is there a throughput issue with the fluids in here? It only shows items send and receive. It's not showing fluids. And there seems to be 18 buckets of salt water sitting in here. So I'm not sure what that's about. But yeah, this one's actually kind of cool. It's nice and pink. But yeah, I think now let's head back home, make ourselves our tier 7 rocket and our tier 7 rocket fuel. And then I think, will we have time? I know we're kind of probably pushing our luck right now, but I think we might go do the Pluto dungeon and get our tier 8 rocket as well. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. Oh yeah, don't forget the chunk load. Finally, all the casing now to upgrade our chemical plant is ready. So now with this, we can make ourselves the final tier of rocket fuel. Probably didn't need to make as many casings as, I mean, a lot of the casings can be replaced with input buses. I went ahead and made them all. So that should be all the casings replaced. Okay, next up then is going to be swapping the LUV out for the UHV. Did that do all of them? Yeah, it did. It's just the top ones are missing. That's why I have extras. Okay. And then after that then is the tungsten's okay. And we'll swap out the HSS with the Naquata coils too. All right. And this thing should be good as long as nothing's missing, which it does seem like it. All right. There we go. So now it is constructed. So to make the final tier of fuel, we'll have a look here in the quest book. It doesn't require actually a lot, and we actually already have everything. So for us to make the final tier of fuel, we're going to need to make this thing, formaldehyde catalyst. That is just formaldehyde, which is just vanadium and iron. That's simple enough. Next step then is formaldehyde cell, which is this, which is methanol and oxygen. That's no problem. Acetaldehyde, which is just oxygen and ethylene. So then that is combined in here with urea mixture, which is just carbon monoxide and ammonia. That's no problem. That will make liquid resin. No, that's not right. Is it liquid resin? No, that's something different. It's this recipe we need to do. So that's going to be hydrogen, formaldehyde, and hydrazine. And that will make this thing. And then that combined with nitrogen tetroxide, which is just the copper, orange metal catalyst, and nitric acid. And that will make us our final tier of rocket fuel. So let me go make a bunch of it. And our gas siphon. Oh, it even tells me dimensions. So we can see our chemical reactor shut down and our planetary gas siphon has shut down on space station 6. That's the one on Neptune. Or is that... No, Uranus. Uranus is the one that's shut down. I'm going to have to go fix that later. But let me go ahead and make the final tier of rocket fuel. So the fuel is just about done crafting. So let's go ahead and make ourselves our tier 7 rocket. So schematic in, unlock, back, throw everything in, and here is our tier 7 rocket. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that actually. Oh, thank God it did. Okay, I was worried that because I didn't have all of the heavy duty plates, but it seems to have completed it anyway. So tier 7 rocket done. So next up is the dungeon on Pluto, and that will give us our tier 8 rocket. And then we'll craft that and call it there. because this episode's getting quite long, I think. But looking at it, all the fuel has been created. 256. Oh yeah, that's going to be a lot of fuel for a while. Anyway, we only need this until we get tier 6 water, and then we'll have the relocator. But yeah, 4 stacks of the max tier fuel will definitely be enough to go allow us to fly around for a while. And anyway, I want to explore a lot of tier 8 planets. There's some pretty decent ores out there. And actually, we'll have access now to awakened draconium. The actual full ore requires a mothership to be able to fly to the tier 9 planets, but we'll have access to the small ore on these tier planets, these tier 8 ones. And I think Barnard E is the one I want to mainly go to. It looks like there's a good few ores here. Like awakened draconium, we'll have lots of infused gold, neutronium, nether stars, naquata. I know there's another vein that has something important, but I can't remember. But let's just go up and get ourselves our tier 8 schematic now. But yeah, look at this. This is our tier 7 rocket. So, fuel loader, we need our battery. Our tier 6 rocket can just go away for now. And in this goes. And how many buckets does this need? 11.5. Now let's take off to Pluto. Whoa, my screen is shaking like crazy. And the audio disappeared. Oh, it's back. All right. So this should be Pluto right here. Zoom in again. And this is its planet, but it doesn't have... You can't land on it. But Pluto, launch. I'm blue again. The server better not break. Oh, we're back with the tier 1 lander? Weird. Can I see a dungeon from up here? No. And... touchdown. Here we are. We are on Pluto. So, because I've never marked the other locations, I'll call this landing. This is where we landed. So we'll take off from here again. So, looking at the mini-map, doesn't look like there's a lot around here. Let's do a little bit of prospecting and try and find ourselves a dungeon. Well, I found a dungeon. It's around here. There it is. And if we look at our mini-map at all the ores we just located, we got emerald, we got naquata and a rich naquata. A lot of bauxite, black plutonium. That's nice. The only way we're getting that so far was from our meteors. Osmium ore. Yeah, I think it would be worth setting up maybe a miner or two on black plutonium and osmium naquata veins. And molybdenum as well. Oh, palladium ore. Yeah, there's a few nice resources to get here. But let's just do this, guy, and I'll worry about all the extra drills next episode, or between now and next episode. But let's just find ourselves our dungeon room. Oh my god, my eyes hurt looking in here. Oh, this is really weird. And here's the boss room. And it is a giant wolf. Well, that was easy. And there we go. Our final tier 8 key. And oh yeah, there's actually a second schematic I want to grab from here. Along with the tier 8 one, we should have access to the awakened schematic. Don't know if it's this one. It's the Wyvern Core one, I believe. Yeah, this thing right here. This Draconic Core schematic should be able to be found in a Pluto dungeon. So we just got the schematic from this one. So let me go find another dungeon and see if we can grab that schematic, because that will save us from having to get it by space mining. Because if we look up Draconic, and where's that schematic? This one right here. The only other way to get it is by using a space mining drone, and it's still only a 1% chance to get it. So if we can find it on the Pluto dungeon, that'll be amazing. All right, here's a second dungeon. Let's go defeat the boss. All right, here is our second key. Please have it. Oh, yes, it did. Perfect. There we go. Draconic Core schematics. Using this now, we'll be able to unlock Draconic Evolution. Still need to make this thing, which is the Draconic Evolution Fusion Crafter. But that doesn't look too difficult. And also, this will actually unlock a cheaper recipe for making the Hellish Metal, which is needed to make the Netherite in the Netherite line. So we could use it that way. But everything in here, very expensive still. UEV, yeah, we won't be making this for a while. But yeah, there we go. Let's go home and make ourselves our tier 8 rocket. We probably won't take off in it, but I'll be using it to go to different planets between episodes. And the camera's still super shaky. Great. All right, let's go home, launch, and let's make ourselves our tier 8 rocket. Actually, I never looked at the material cost. Is it even possible? UHV energy hatch. Heavy duty tier 7, UEV power. Okay, it's not possible. I probably should have looked at that, but okay. We made ourselves our tier 7 rocket, got ourselves our schematic. So once we finally unlock a UHV energy hatch, we'll finally be able to make ourselves our tier 8 rocket and explore the different places out in space. But yeah, so I'm going to call it there. So between now and next episode, I'm going to go back out into space and set up a bunch of multi-block miners and fluid drilling rigs on a bunch of different planets. And then hopefully we won't have to worry about resources or fluids for a while. And everything got dark. Yeah, that's weird. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit that notification bell while you're at it then as well. So without any further ado, goodbye.